Just picked this guy up for 50 bucks. All right, we are fitting away here. Eric's been going for a couple hours now, fitting this panel in here, and we got it looking pretty good. All right, here is the corner all done. This is probably one of the hardest panels that a body man or metal man could confront. Big giant, it's 50 inches long, 30 inches tall, and it's supposed to be flat. So don't get down on yourself if you can't get this panel straight, because it's going to be very difficult. It's going to take many hours. So if you're working on this yourself, take your time, do what you can with heat shrinking with either a torch. You gotta be careful with that, or a shrinking disc, or and the hammer and dolly, and just do what you can. And then you're most likely you're gonna have to do a fairly decent, skim coat or thicker of some plastic filler to get this panel straight. And for me, this isn't a show car. I'm not planning on putting hundreds and hundreds of hours of metal work into these body panels. It's gonna get a patina paint job that's gonna look all rusty and crusty, and basically want it to look back to kind of how it was when I pulled it out of the barn, but without the rust holes and the shitty panels. So it's kind of a weird conundrum. It's like I want it to look old and crusty, so it's like how much time you gonna spend, on metal work and body work and stuff when, I don't want it to look like a brand new show car, because I hate taking care of show cars. I've had them, they're a pain in the ass, and most likely once I lose interest in this bus, it's gonna sit outside half the time. And so that's just how I roll. That's how my ADD brain works. And so let's just get going on this. I'm gonna start shrinking this down. I'm just gonna start here and just kind of work my way that way. And I'll video as much as I can for you guys. Just picked this guy up for 50 bucks. Looks like either a 15 or 1600 single port, probably out of a early bus, or early bay, I should say. Really unknown status. It was on some property they were cleaning up, and but I couldn't really pass it up for 50 bucks. Figure the case has got to be worth more than that. So what do you think? Did I get a good deal? All right, guys. I just grinded this whole panel down here, and this thing is weightier than the ocean. It's bad. All right, so right here we got it's a hole right here, and then right here we got the old, hard to do with one hand, but tin cannon going on here. It's all soft up here, so I gotta tighten this panel up, and I'm gonna be using the shrinking die, the shrinking disc. And see if I can, so right up here, we're really high here. So if I took an edge from here to here, it should be basically straight. Maybe a little bit of a bow to it, because these are big panels. So they probably had a little natural curve to them, from front to back, and maybe even top to bottom. So I'm gonna take some down here. I'm gonna shrink this down right here to get this bulge out of here, and then we gotta bring this up. So it's low here, high here, low here, high here. There was a little crease right along here too. High here, low here. So a lot of work to do. So I'm gonna do a little section just to kind of show you guys the shrinking disc, and then I'll just have to put it on hyperlapse and just go to town. It's probably gonna be a couple hours in this panel here, but Bondo's $100 a gallon now, so figure better get at it. Let's go. All right, so I have the camera kind of positioned with the glare of the light where you can see this area right here. So I already worked this area quite a bit with the shrinking disc. But you can see all these little high spots, and then you can see some low spots. So what I'm gonna do is mark that with the Sharpie. Wish I had a big fat Sharpie, but I don't. See how much Sharpie we use here. According to Ray from Pro Shapers, who sells these shrinking discs, the Sharpie actually kind of helps lubricate the panel. Alright, so I just got some soapy water and a sprayer, and I got a towel from the old lady's kitchen. And we're basically just going to be using this. It's just a stainless disc. So it's just smooth. But what it does is that friction, you're running along here, you heat up the panel, and it heats up the high spots with the heat. Make sure it's nice and cool. We'll do it again. And grab a straight edge. All right, is it looking any better? Put this on there. So I can see we're high right here. All right, it's really nice right there. You know, so this just depends on how anal you want to get, guys. So we're definitely high, like right in there. So this panel certainly has a curve to it from top to bottom, right? It's not straight up and down. So we're just trying to make sure we get look how nice and flat that is. So we're a little low right there, high right there. So, I mean, but we're, you know, now we're talking within, you know, a 16th or, you know, so it's definitely body workable for sure. So I don't know if you remember earlier, but this had about a 1/4 inch dip here. So I had actually reached up from the inside, pushed that out as good as I could with just a 1x1 piece of square tubing, pushed that down out and then shrunk it back down. So I'm really happy with that. I mean, it basically took it from a 1/4 inch of Bondo to hardly nothing. I got a little high spot down here, but that's pretty good. I guess from this angle it really doesn't, so I can still see it's low right here, high right here, but I'm gonna put a straight edge on it. So you can see that little air gap through there, so that's probably a 30-second, you know. So I could take some down here, I could hammer that down a little bit. And this area here needs to come up. So this needs to come up here and that needs to go down. Obviously there's this weird brazing going on along here. I think that they replaced this corner panel here because it looks like there's a weld seam along here I got to deal with. Still a little low right there, but again, I'm trying not to bore you guys to death here, so. But I think you get the gist of it. So I could work this a little more, still a little high here. And it's actually a little looser now too, so I'm gonna probably hit it a couple more times. just got both my fingers pretty good. There's a sharp thing inside there, so I got the old shop Band-Aid on there. All right, guys, I don't want to just sit here and keep recording this, you know, and just bore you guys to death like watching grass grow or something, okay? But like this section here is already, it's close to being bondable already, but I still have, as you can see there, I still have an oil pan here. So I'm just gonna keep pushing it out and then hitting it, shrinking it down, push it out, hit it, you know. And I can really see this high spot like right along in here. And I got a low spot right here. And it's kind of high up here still too. So I'm just gonna keep working it, and I'll keep hammering and dialing a little bit and keep shrinking it up, and eventually it'll be good to go. All right, we're gonna try to spot weld. Alright, my tip here, save the day again, because there's no way we could have got in there with the regular tips, but I got in there just enough to get that job done. There wasn't much of a lip on there, but oh yeah, oh, can't really see, but looks good. Alright, we are fitting away here. Eric's been going for a couple hours now fitting this panel in here, and we got it looking pretty good. So we've been going along with our straight edge here and making sure that we're, you know, looking really good. You know, we're within a 30-second or so, and I guess my biggest advice on this, guys, is just take your time. And we also had to, on the flange going in this way, we put it in the shrinker to get a little more curve in this, because it was a little flat in here compared to these panels and the panel up there. So we added a little bit of more curve to get it kind of going in like that. And I'm still going along on this panel. I got it better, but I still got a little tin can action still I'm working on, but I got it almost skimmable at this point, but been many hours, and that one's going to be even the same. All right, I have to say that having the bus on the rotisserie here, it's at the 45-degree angle right now, is sweet. So if you are thinking about making a rotisserie or him hawing around about doing it for a build, whether it's a bus or a truck or whatever, sure does make working nicer. Because right now I'm getting ready to weld this seam along here, and it's like, you know, right at eye level. So I'm just standing up nice and straight, and not having to be like, you know, up on the lift or you know, having it vertical. So anyways, my 2 cents on the old bus rolly frame. So there was a little spot here that it had the two little wieners of Bondo sticking through these big holes, so it was kind of thin and messed up, so we decided to cut that out and patch that up, which is kind of a pain in the ass when you're doing it in the middle of a football field. What's up, guys? Good morning. I don't know how you guys deal with your shops and your garages or wherever your workspace is, like how you keep it clean, but my shop is an absolute disaster. And so today's Friday, and I worked my normal job all week, and today we are going to clean the shop. So I'll probably do a little bit of 10 seconds of us cleaning here just to show the cleanup, but I mean, the place is just a disaster. It's like my ADHD brain just kind of, everything's just, the shop is closing in on me. So I got a couple buddies coming over today to help out, and we're gonna get this place cleaned up, get all the tools cleaned up. We grinded a bunch of Bondo the other day, and there's like, can't really see, but there's like Bondo dust everywhere. So we're gonna flip this bus around, get it back on the wheels, get it outside, and just kind of go to town in here and try to get the place cleaned up. So the next video, the shop will be cleaner. And if you guys have any tips on how you keep your shops clean, I try to put my tools away all the time and stuff, but a lot of times I work, if I gotta leave at 6, I work till 5:59 and a half, and then I just throw my shit down and leave, and then I come back the next day all upset that my shop's a mess. So anyways, let's go. All right guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I put out videos every Saturday on the old bus project, and I hope this video fueled your ambitions, helped you steer through some obstacles, and gets you back on your path to your journey with your project. See you at the next one. Peace.